The COVID vaccine. Many have taken it willingly or under pressure from their family or their employers. And there are others who insist that they will not take the vaccine. How do you feel about this, one way or other? We'll be discussing that in this program. Also, there is a growing connection between children in Senegal and many Brooklyn residents who are working to help those children build a computer lab and bridge the digital divide. We'll be discussing that later in this program. But we begin with the issue that's a concern for millions of Americans, getting the COVID vaccine for a health problem that's still with us, and we don't know when it will end. Joining me to discuss this troubling issue that confronts them every day are Chef Michael Jordan, and I keep pronouncing your name, Michael Gordon, and also Amadou Diallo. Welcome to Brooklyn 45. Let's begin with that issue, the effect that not getting vaccinated is having on businesses. And we're going to begin with you, Michael.
The effect, yeah, I could definitely see the effect. If you could look around, it's an empty dining room because I honestly kind of refuse to ask the question, the dreaded question, if you are vaccinated to be seated inside. But luckily for me, I have an outdoor, so that kind of works in my favor per se, where I don't have to ask, meet them outside, and they're outside.
So you meet them outside, or you have?
No, there's an outdoor space for them to eat from.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. What's the name of your restaurant? You're a chef as well.
Yes, I am a chef. It's called Ital Kitchen. We are vegan, and we are from a Rastafarian kind of background per se. So we cook food that's supposed to have you not worry about being vaccinated.
What are the issues that concern you most about people coming in without their masks? Is that a requirement?
Well, early on, it was a requirement. Then they that go like, early on in the summer, they said there's no more mask inside. But most of my business now is definitely outdoor. For the near future, probably the winter, then I'll have a new problem when it comes winter time because I cannot use the outdoor. And then the indoor dining and the mandate probably take effect for me. But for me now, I'm not really stressed about the mandate. My outdoor allowed me not to. And that's been working.
Okay, you're not stressed. Amadou Diallo, you're a taxi driver. Tell me, what's the effect of COVID on your business?
Yeah, as an Uber driver, I encounter some issues. Some of the riders are not vaccinated, but they have, sometimes they have masks, and some of them also get in without a mask. And most likely you have to report that to Uber, and it takes a process to, do that. But most likely you will. I usually wear my mask, and I don't really bother a lot about that because it's just a matter of choice sometimes. Even though it's a requirement, you have to do your precautions.
Mr. Diallo, do you actually ask your passengers if they're vaccinated?
Most of the time, no. I don't bother about that because it's a matter of choice to be vaccinated. So I can ask, but yeah. And some of them are very skeptical in telling me that. They don't want to tell me the status. They just say, oh, I'm wearing a mask. I think that's enough. Because that's the requirement.
Mm-hmm. What's the effect on your business and Mr. Gordon's business? Mr. Gordon, I'm going to begin with you first. People who insist that they don't want to be vaccinated.
Well, as I said, I haven't been totally keeping up with who is vaccinated or not. I just tell them go to the back. I'm not doing any indoor dining. My thing is, I don't need to ask you about your business if you're back. It's for me, it's like asking someone, who did you vote for? This is like the political narrative of the day. Are you vaccinated or not? So I just stay out of it. I just send him to the back. If it rains, I'm kind of screwed if it rains, because then there's no business for me. But I don't think my customers would like that. Some people voluntarily said, well, I'm vaccinated, I can sit inside. Some will call and ask, are you dining in? And I'm like, no, I'm not dining in because of what the requirement is. So I kind of just stay in my lane per se, and don't ask, don't tell kind of thing for me. I could see where the business declined because of it, because some people are just not coming out because of it.
Well, that was going to be my question, and you've begun to answer it. These vaccine requirements, how have this been affecting your business?
It's totally. Since the mandate kicks in, I've seen at least a 60% drop in traffic.
Are you able to get any monies back from the city or any other?
The city is not doing anything for us small businesses. It's not doing anything. It's just all the city care about now is getting people back out so they could start their economy. They really don't consider us when they make their decisions.
Mr. Diallo, how have these requirements been affecting your business?
Most of the time, as I said, I ask the passengers to wear their mask. So if you're not vaccinated and you don't have a mask, then I'm not going to take you. And that's not really helping me sometimes because I'm losing money. But yeah. And also, like, the government is not doing anything about that. Like, we're not making the amount of money we usually make. So that's how it is. So I have to deal with whatever happens.
Are you losing a lot of money?
Yeah, I can lose a lot of money on a daily basis. Yeah, because prior COVID, I used to make more money. Yeah, I used to have like something very more stable than now. Oh yeah, I have to adjust. I have to do a different job and do that on the side because I can't do that only driving. So I'm an engineer also, so I'm trying to cover, like the cost with that side. Yeah.
Is that in a building itself, or is that in a place where you're not in contact with other people? They are engineers. That's home. I work remote with my computer. So yeah, sometimes I go out to hustle. Nothing easy. Yeah. No, well, if you got to hustle, you got to hustle.
Yeah, that's how it is. So I have to do both here for now until I get whatever I'm looking for, because I need to shift back because of this COVID. It's really safe to be home working than going out all the time and exposing yourself. So yeah.
Mr. Gordon, you don't have to hustle. You have constant business coming in.
Somewhat, well, I wouldn't know how else to hustle. Probably put some food on the street side and sell it. I'm sure what else to do. My thing is now, I'm over this. We're sick and tired of this. Whatever it is, I've gone to other states and I don't see what's happening. It's like in a different country when you go to other states. This is insane. It's insanity. Just let people be, man. Vaccinated or unvaccinated, just let us be. It will figure itself out. It all balances out. It all works out at the end. you know.
I don't know your family situation, but is there a problem maintaining the lifestyle that is going to be necessary for your family?
Well, I always have a frugal lifestyle. I don't live amongst my means. And as you can see, I could actually do this work myself. So the joy, what saved me is that I actually could do most of the work myself. Here, it's that kind of setup. I'm in a very unique situation where, if I feed 20 people for the day, I could be all right, and I'm very lucky with that, so my situation is unique. As we could tell, these ladies are literally helping me out tonight, because it's like a one-man show here, so yeah. I do more work per se, because I can't afford to have people doing the work for me like I used to. But that's the sacrifice that I have to make it work.
Mr. Diallo, what are your friends, not your passengers now, but what are your friends saying to you about these requirements, these COVID restrictions?
I heard a lot of times people saying, it's at the person's discretion to get vaccinated or not. So the government shouldn't force you into doing that. They should just tell those who really feel the need of getting vaccinated and feel the risks of contracting the disease to get vaccinated. So meaning if you don't want to get the vaccine, you just don't get it. As long as you get to probably wear a mask and protect yourself, that would normally be enough. That's what they bring in as an opinion, yeah.
Have you ever been pulled over by the police to ask if you have been vaccinated, or if your passengers are creating a problem for you and you're unable to handle whatever the situation is?
Never got pulled over, and never my passengers got any sort of report, from me, or got anything like that, yeah. It's just something between I and the passengers, But I think those things happen rarely. Yeah, where the police intervene into those situations, yeah.
Mr. Gordon, let me ask you the same question. Have you ever been invaded by the police asking any questions related to COVID? And
Well, I have people come in, not say the police per se, but city workers came in and to make sure you're following. And that was early on. They wanted you to check each person that come in, check their temperature, and those kind of things, which I obliged to, because I guess it makes sense then. But after the vaccine came out, they kind of dropped those requirements, and no, they figure out whatever this vaccine does are not doing. No, there's come this other thing where no one sit in without the vaccine, and it's just destroying us all per se, I think personally.
Do you have a fear of getting the virus because of?
I think I've catched the virus twice.
Ooh.
So fear, no, it's a flu or, yeah, it's the flu. That's what I experienced. That's my experience. I caught it in 2019, November of 2019, and again, April of 2020, but, it's a flu. If you take care of yourself and eat right, and this is my suggestion.
And be careful.
Yeah, just eat right. If your body's going to take care of itself if you put the right thing in. And I think, and a saying goes, don't scare me with your fear. I'm not scared of this thing or whatever it is, and you're just freaking out over it. And I'm just living my life. And I wish people would just understand that we all have a choice to choose whatever you want to choose. And I'm not taking any side. I'm just saying,
I hear you.
You have a right to do whatever you want to do.
Yes, yes.
And I follow the rules in the sense that you can't dine in without a vaccine because that's the rule, but you can dine outdoor without being asked the question if you're vaccinated or not.
Yes.
That's
Mr. Diallo, the last question is going to be to you, and this is going to be the same question. And we've got less than a minute. Let's talk about your fears, if any, of catching the vaccine from your passengers, of catching, I said vaccine, catching the COVID from your passengers.
Yeah, I've been out for all the time since COVID happened. Basically, in the beginning, I was home for 3 consecutive weeks, and I had a big fear. But long as I realized that the bills need to pay, so I had to cut the fear, and I had to go out to make my money. But in the meantime, I wasn't feeling the type of fear I was feeling before, because I ended up putting myself into the fifth situation where anything can happen, because even the mask says you can't be protected with wearing only the mask. And also, even if you have the vaccine, doesn't mean you are not going to get to be sick. So literally speaking, I follow a certain routine. I try to eat very healthy and exercise and get to drink a lot of ginger, these kind of things, like natural things, and keep my faith always alive.
Yes.
I think so that's how I've been following.
Yes. I think we're out of time, but I know that you are not going to be out of time, and Mr. Gordon, you're not going to be out of time either, because you guys are going to be very careful and you're going to be doing the right thing. And I want to thank you for being on Brooklyn 45. Michael Gordon, who is a chef, and he told us about his restaurant earlier, and Mr. Amadou Diallo, who is a taxi driver. He's an Uber driver. And you both have to be very careful. Again, thank you for being on Brooklyn 45. Two Brooklyn organizations are working on a project to help school children in Senegal bridge that digital divide that keeps so many people in developing countries from using technologies that so many schools here in the United States take for granted. Joining me to discuss this project is Aichatou Diagne. Aichatou, welcome to Brooklyn 45.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Tell us about this project.
Well, so I started Joloff back in 2015. It was just a small idea, being that I saw that children in Senegal weren't offered the opportunity of having cartoons, especially educational cartoons. So that's where the idea of Joloff came about. And through developing that, we met Camilla with Jordan's Promise Foundation. We decided to work together. How do we help these children, especially when the pandemic hit and we realized that we are definitely way behind, because when children all over the world converted to digital learning and remote learning, we weren't granted the same opportunity. And through that is where we came in with Jordan's Promise Foundation, decided to help us. And we decided to go with a GoFundMe to be able to bridge that digital divide.
Tell us about the importance of this digital divide in Senegal.
It is very, very important, as we see that Senegal is prospected to be in 2025, Senegal is prospected to be a tech hub in West Africa.
Wow.
And I believe that we are slacking way behind. So this digital, by people helping us to bridge this digital divide, this digital gap, I believe it'll give these children access through technology to be on par with their peers all over the world and to be able to compete with other children all over the world as well.
You've been working with children in Senegal before. I think you have helped build a lab of some sort.
It's a technology lab, basically, that we're trying to continue building so that we can, for a class of 40, actually 2 classes of 40 computer labs. The mayor in Yanning also built a culinary lab for the students there as well, so that they can have a broader aspect, broader career aspect, not your usual, I want to be a doctor, a fireman, or a local policeman, but more it's okay, I want to be a chef. What else is there? And with that, we're trying to help with building that technology lab, which we know that most jobs will be technological jobs. Why not provide these children with that simple, basic necessity that they need?
I think Senegal is very well known as a tourist attraction, or it used to be a tourist attraction. Tell us about that.
Well, yes, it used to be a tourist attraction, especially in the city of Yanning, where we're trying to build right now. The city of Yanning was very, very popular as a touristic spot because of the local beaches, white sands, and its closest proximity to the airport. But when there's a local small town called Xale, which is really next door, their infrastructure developed. And so all the tourists ventured over there because of the difference of infrastructure and hotels and leisure wise, their leisureness over there became very, very grand compared to Yanning, which turned into a fishing town due to no more tourists coming there.
I know that you're working with, we call him Papa, Papa Diagne.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your work with Papa.
Well, so Papa, that's my dad, the one. So I've been working with him since, I guess, early age. He's awesome. But so he is basically like my liaison. Papa is the one to go to Senegal a lot because he travels a lot to take people from the diaspora there and people that want to make a connection with Senegal, people that want to build connections there with the people. So that's what Papa does. He is the liaison for Xale Joloff. He makes a lot of things possible for us to know which schools are needing help there, which mayors can give us access to be able to help these children.
I think we have a video of one of the students in the school. So let's watch that video now. And this student is going to be telling us about the conditions at his school.
Je m'appelle Betty Diata, élève en classe du CM2, école Farouk 2. Quand je serai grand, j'aimerais être un médecin pour aider les élèves, les enfants, pour soigner aussi les gens. En même temps, les talibés qui sont dans la rue, pour que le Sénégal soit développé. Merci.
I know that you've been working with a Brooklyn organization called Jordan's Promise Foundation. What work have you been doing with this organization?
So with Jordan's Promise, they're the ones that actually stepped up to help us build this computer lab. What their initiative is to help youth at risk that need help. So with that, our youth are definitely at risk in a different way, at risk of not being technologically in par with their peers. So that's where Camilla comes in, and she definitely helps with Jordan's Promise Foundation. They're definitely helping us to build this computer lab. We are in collaboration as far as we have a GoFundMe that people can donate to help these children get to there so that we can actually be able to bridge that digital divide.
What kind of conversations have you been having with these kids?
conversations, trying to figure out what exactly it is that they would like to be when they grow up, how we can help them achieve their dreams, their goals, how we can help them make it easier for them to learn.
Well, I wish you luck. I wish you not luck. I wish you success. And I know that your mayor is coming to Brooklyn as well. And we are going to be issuing an invitation to your mayor to come and join us here on Brooklyn 45. But I want to thank you for being our guest on Brooklyn 45. We've got 15 seconds. What is one thing you'd like our audience to know?
I would like the audience to know that we would really like to bridge this digital divide gap. Tonight, when you look at your nephews, your nieces, and every other children out here who have easy access to technology, think about those that are in Africa that are far behind when it comes to that. Please help them. We really do need it. Thank you.
And thank you, Aichatou Diagne. Thank you for being on Brooklyn 45.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Chef Michael Gordon and taxi driver Amadou Diallo. And to our viewers, we thank you for watching this program. We invite you to partner with Brooklyn 45. You can do this in several ways. You can suggest topics, issues you want us to write information to you about, and just go to our website, www.brooklyn45.com, and become a monthly or one-time supporter. We are a 501c3 community TV program, and when you support us, our communities benefit as well, and so do you. So please do support us and tell everyone you know on social media about Brooklyn 45. On behalf of our Brooklyn 45 team, I am Sam Taitt.
Brooklyn 45 is a 501c3 not-for-profit, and we welcome your support. Check out our website, brooklyn45.com, and feel free to donate or share it with your friends and family. Have any comments or questions? Send them to our Facebook, facebook.com/Brooklyn45TV. If you have any questions or topics you think we should cover next, shoot me an email over at brooklyn45tv@gmail.com. Thank you again for watching.